How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be featuring another game in the Ohio, the legendary tier American battleship. Um, this one was kind of sweaty, kind of like getting steamrolled but pulling it back type of deal. But yeah, this one was pretty fun. Typical start to the match, spawn in this CD right flank. And I feel like every time I spawn here, my first instinct is to actually, push down the flank that I spawned on, regardless of what the map is and what is in front of me. Um, but yeah, getting spotted pretty early, and considering how many destroyers there are on the other team, there's probably a destroyer coming. I do go unspotted briefly, and I'm assuming it's because he is currently behind that island where our destroyer is headed towards. So I just need to be ready. RDD is actually pushing in, and I feel like whatever enemy destroyer is there will eventually get spotted. But yeah, pot shot at that conch that was broadside. Unfortunately, everything else landed short except like, what was it, like one shatter and an overpen. But yeah, now that my guns are reloading, I am getting ready to shoot the destroyer. I do get spotted again, so I do know he has finally gotten around the island. Unfortunately, our Shima has launched all of his torpedoes at that bow in Iwami, and well, there's the enemy Yugumo. I shoot my front gun, but I do notice that he is kind of turning back into dodge, so I hold my shot until he does finally commit to a turn, which he does there. But unfortunately, our Shima, who launched all his torps, was stuck bow in, and his only chance was to just dodge. But being that close to an enemy destroyer that has torp damage, basically on par with the Shimakaze, yeah, didn't exactly end very well. Now we have no destroyer to spawn on our flank, which is kind of bad. And yeah, it also seems like our A flank has completely abandoned without even attempting to defend. So we basically just have zero map control. Their Yugumo does get spotted briefly, and somehow, well, I'm kind of hoping that our team can like somehow push him and get rid of him. Yugumo does get spotted again, and our friendlies are shooting at him, and Yugumo is dead, which does mean that we can actually push down this flank without really having to worry about torpedoes. But there's still two conchs and an Iwami, and yeah, other flank abandoned. Like our whole team, just look at the map, like our whole team is basically in the bottom right quadrant of the map, and there's ships in front of us, ships behind us. We're kind of screwed just because our team abandoned the one cardinal sin: don't abandon your flank in Legends. This is the result of doing so, and yeah, I mean, noticing it at this point, I just need to do whatever I can to maybe give us some space to breathe on this end, and you know, maybe we can somehow scrape this one back. We do finish off the Iwami, which is great because not only do we finally have our first stack of plotting room, but also activating our legendary skill that gives us 5% more damage is, well, kind of what we need at this point. 3 battleships, and we're kind of the only thing that they're going to really be shooting at, because I mean, the ships that abandon AR on the 9-10 line all the way at the back, and I don't think they can actually shoot at anything. Kind of results of their own doing, unfortunately. But yeah, trying to push down this flank. I mean, there's a whole lot of room to maneuver, trying to use islands to get into positions that would benefit me the most. And seeing one conch there and another pushing in. Yeah, trying to get rid of one of the conchs. I mean, HE spam is, well, bad from 1, even worse from 2. Unfortunately, I thought he was slowing down, but he actually just kept going and either sped up or something, so we don't lead properly, and we miss out on a huge chunk of damage. Enemy Schroeder charging in, kind of my next target, especially because he is spotting our destroyer, which kind of bad. Unfortunately, our DD did get spotted by a Schroeder. I would hope that they realize there's a Schroeder and they would have ran away. But that is not the case. Another friendly ship going down as well. Not looking good for our team. Although, Shima landing Torps and Schroeder, that is pretty clutch. At least I thought it was a Shima. Was it a Shima? I don't think so. But yeah, anyway, Schroeder goes down. Conk is still charging in. We do have a pretty good broadside. Not making this mistake of thinking he's slowing down again. And Dispersion, much better. Big chunk out of the Conk. And now I think it's time to start pushing in, especially because Conk will eventually reach the island. And I would then need to keep an angle, because if I kept reversing, then he'd basically reach the island quicker and we would lose a shot, although he does end up turning broadside and away from us, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't even know if our team at the back can reach still. I mean, I hope they would be able to. But yeah, he's left on 1 bar. But also, enemy destroyer will get spotted here in a second. Calling target on the Conk to hopefully finish him off. The other Conk spamming me over the islands. Double fire. Need to damage con that. And there's the daring. Unfortunately, he is going to definitely kill off our destroyer. And yeah, we're going to be left with one that also has basically 0 HP left. Yeah, it's kind of falling apart. I do try to hold where the destroyer was, also aim a little behind because I'm assuming he is going to reverse away a little, especially when destroyers smoke up. That's what they typically do. But yeah, now it's time to push the Conk. Running with scissors is active. Some decent dispersion. I don't know where that one shell was going. The other 3 were all together, but still a pretty good smash on the Conk. And then we get set on a double fire. Yeah, it was very important that we isolated this Conk and made it so that he couldn't shoot at us earlier when we were trying to get rid of the other one. Because if they were able to, I mean, 2 Conk spamming HE, I mean, literally just one just sets me on a double fire twice. Both times it shot at me, which absolutely sucks. I mean, look at him, he got a witherer. So, yeah, not looking good. I mean, there's also a daring that's still alive. We're pushing a Conk. I'm also located, which is why I actually look to the left here in a second, because that's when I actually realize I'm located. So I just start turning in. Doesn't really matter if I was to try to dodge to the right. I mean, I guess trying to use the island so Conk stops shooting at me, especially while I have my DCP with the DD. But he starts shooting before he smokes up. I'm not sure why. This is a huge mistake, especially because you stay spotted for 3 seconds after you're actually in your smoke puff, which is why I get off a whole salvo, plus some secondary hits, and yeah, we're actually able to get rid of the daring, which is kind of important. Now they have 1 destroyer left, who's basically herding around our battleships that's on the border. This Conk, though, is also going to be a massive problem, because we've basically went from like full HP to 30k just from fires and Conk HE pens. So yeah, it's not looking great. We are going to try to stop in the cap and basically contest and maybe capture the objective soon. And hopefully we can actually get rid of the Conqueror. Although our dispersion is not exactly working with us here. We're getting like 2 hits per 4 shells. And one of them is a pen and the other is an overpen. And even with max plotting room, it's not quite doing what we need it to. That was a pretty good hit there, but unfortunately, right when my rear turrets load, he pops a super heal. So when we thought we would finish off this Conk, he just starts healing and printing a new ship. And then now we're subject to even more HE spam from him and more chunks of damage from his HE. There's nothing we can do. I mean, we're trying to angle the best we can, but that doesn't matter for HE, and Konk's HE just hurts. And also has quarter pen, so it's not like our armor really matters. Conk, though, is fairly broadside. I mean, broadside enough that our shells can pen, but dispersion doesn't want to work. I aim above his deck and then it basically misses low, and then we get a shatter. Like, happened quite a bit this this match. Every time we were aiming a little higher, shells still landed short, which was really unfortunate. One of the enemy battleships does go down. Now it's just a Worcester and a DD. Worcester gets absolutely smashed, so I'm assuming he's going to try to kite away from the two battleships that basically touched him, which he is doing, and we are in a great position to get a crossfire. And with that horrible looking dispersion, we do land one Citadel. So I guess RNG sucked against the conch, but blessed us with that somehow, even though the dispersion looked terrible. Smallland gets spotted in the corner. There's not exactly a whole lot of time left on the clock, and we are down on points kind of badly. And also, they have 3 caps to our 1. The only way we could possibly win is by finishing off the destroyer. There is no way that I make it to any of the objectives and cap that would make a difference. Duncan is telling me to go and cap the Charlie objective, but the thing is, for me to turn around and then cap, which takes 60 seconds, the points that we are losing by is not going to flip, especially considering they still have A and B, so they'll still be gaining more and more points even though we're contesting Charlie cap. So the only thing we can hope to do is find their destroyer. I mean, currently with our position with the Duncan, we are in a good spot. All Duncan needs to do is push towards this corner, making sure he's not too far from the border, and then there's not really a whole lot of space that the Smallland should be able to escape from, and realistically he should be spotted at some point if we keep closing the distance and pinching him. But once we get around to this corner, we do get spotted. I did ping, and I'm basically continuously pinging where the Smallland is, hoping that the Duncan will eventually start pushing towards me so we can basically catch this Smallland. I do get spotted. I'm assuming he's somewhere at that South Island trying to figure out a way to run away towards the Duncan, but he actually tried to run away towards where I was. So if you think about if I ran away to go cap an objective, Smallland would have had a opportunity to escape and never would have been caught. So luckily, not listening to the Duncan, we do find the Smallland, and it's gonna pay off because, well, Smallland is definitely going to die here. Holding my rear turret, I'm just waiting for him to make a turn, trying to dodge towards the Duncan shells, or away from them rather, but he's just gonna stay broadside. Duncan smashes him with AP, and well, that's all she wrote for that match. We weren't able to claw that one back after our team abandoned A. We had 0 map control, and yeah, they had 2 destroyers to our none. Kind of crazy. I honestly was expecting a loss with how the game started, and basically no map control. We're surrounded by everything, a bunch of conchs smashing everything with HE, burning them down. Arshima dying at the start. Daring finding our other DD. Yeah, it wasn't looking good. But yeah, we were able to claw that one back. Enemy team threw kind of badly, but also luckily one of the battleships that abandoned the other flank did make the right choice and actually pushed to the corner with me to find the Smallland. Otherwise, that would not have worked out very well. But yeah, slightly different build that I'm usually using. I would usually have Haruna instead of Fernandez. I don't remember if this game was played before or after the CV rework. Might have been after. That's why I have Fernandez, because CVs make you play extremely passive, and the only thing you can do is extend range. But yeah, I think I did go back to Haruna. But that's, yeah, pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more, and share it with your friends, or leave a comment down below on other ships you want to see in the future. But till next time, aloha.